Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a world that, let's be honest, is usually completely shrouded in taboo and secrecy, our sexual health. For a lot of folks, just the mere thought of visiting a sexologist is packed with pure awkwardness. So we're going to strip all of that away right now. We'll look at the actual medical approaches and use a fascinating, fully functioning clinic as our guide for a proper introduction to what a sexologist actually does. Let's jump right in.
We all know human intimacy is a fundamental part of life, right? But what happens when it stops being this great source of connection and literally turns into a source of urgent, stressful anxiety? Who do you actually talk to? Do you go to a general physician, a therapist, your friends? The reality is millions of people are silently asking major questions about their bodies and their relationships, and they're completely unsure of where to seek legitimate, professional help without feeling judged.
So, let's take a quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll cover 1. The need for answers. 2. Meeting the sexologist. 3. Inside the clinic. 4. Digital sex education. And finally, 5. Breaking intimacy taboos.
Okay, Section 1. The need for answers.
Before we look at our specific case study, we really need to get a handle on the profession itself. You see, a sexologist doesn't just hand out simple relationship advice. They provide really comprehensive care for both your mind and your body. It's essentially built on 3 pillars: medical, psychological, and holistic. They aren't just looking at the mechanical functions of human anatomy, though for sure, that's a huge part of it. They're also tackling the psychological hurdles of intimacy, and they often bring in holistic treatments to bridge that gap between physical health and mental well-being. It's a massively multidisciplinary approach.
Moving right along to Section 2, Meet the Sexologist.
To actually understand how this multidisciplinary approach works in the real world, we're going to look at Dr.Gomatthi Sexology Clinic down in Coimbatore, India. And I want you to focus on this number, 45. Dr. Gomatthi brings 45 years of medical experience to her patients. In this specific field, trust is literally everything. When you're dealing with something as vulnerable as your sexual health, a quick Google search just isn't going to cut it. Patients need gravitas, clinical detachment, and decades of proven medical authority to reassure them that their deeply personal panics are actually solvable medical issues. Which brings us to Section 3, Inside the Clinic.
Let's step through the clinic doors and look at the real vulnerabilities people are bringing in. Take this actual public review from a young man. Think about the courage it took for a 20-year-old to write this out for the world to see. You can practically hear the panic in his words. I am very worried about this problem. For him, this isn't just a minor hiccup. It feels like his entire world is crashing down. It perfectly captures that intense anxiety we were just talking about.
But look at how the clinic handles it. The doctor's public response instantly counters his panic with this cool, measured clinical reassurance. They essentially tell him, hey, at 20 years old, this really isn't a massive anomaly. Boom, fear de-escalated. It transforms a deeply embarrassing personal crisis into a super manageable, totally standard medical condition.
And check out the specific advice she gives. It's not a magic pill. It's physical health, mental control, and healthy habits. This shows us that treating sexual health is really about a holistic lifestyle adjustment. They're guiding this young guy to completely reset his daily routines, grounding his treatment in absolute, realistic human biology and psychology.
In looking at other reviews, we see this holistic approach pop up everywhere. A standard medical consult runs about 1,000 Indian rupees, but it's rarely a one-and-done kind of deal. Patients talk about needing multiple sittings, and here's the wild part. They blend traditional medicine with alternative methods like pranic healing, acupuncture, and even hypnotherapy. It just goes to show a modern clinic treats the whole person, using literally every tool in the toolbox.
All right, Section 4. Digital sex education.
Now, let's talk about scaling this up, because let's face it, not everyone is going to walk into a physical office. This clinic has built an audience of 217,000 YouTube subscribers. That is an absolutely staggering number, and it proves that the public demand for professional, educational content on sexual health is just off the charts. People are desperate for reliable information they can watch privately.
To put that into perspective, look at these view counts. We're talking 1.7 million views on a video explaining recommended sex frequency, another 1.5 million tuning in to understand vaginismus and pain during intimacy, 1.2 million views on basic female anatomy. If you have questions about these things, you are definitely not alone. Millions of adults are out there searching for answers they simply never got when they were younger.
So, Dr. Gomatthi offers a full digital sex education course to fill that massive knowledge gap.
And the topics? They are all over the map in the best way possible. From critical medical services like HIV post-exposure prophylaxis to physical treatments for erectile dysfunction, all the way to romance workshops. It does such a great job of completely normalizing the entire spectrum of adult intimacy. What's really smart is how the education is split up. The before-marriage stuff is super mechanics-heavy, figuring out your own anatomy, how organs work, busting cultural myths. But then, after marriage, it's a completely different ballgame. The focus shifts entirely to empathy, partner behavior, and navigating each other's emotional and physical strengths. It's essentially a masterclass in evolving from individual biology to shared connection. Which leads us to our final part, Section 5, Breaking Intimacy Taboos.
When we zoom out and look at the clinic's broader philosophy, especially on their blog, it goes way beyond clinical mechanics. Look at these topics: spiritual sex, twin flame love, the power of conscious kisses. It proves that a true sexologist totally gets that sexual health is tied directly to emotional affection. You absolutely cannot treat the physical body without addressing the heart and the mind too.
And honestly, this simple equation perfectly sums up the whole shebang. Intimacy plus affection plus pleasure equals lovemaking. It's not just mechanics. You need that deep vulnerability, you need that emotional warmth for your partner, and you need the physical pleasure. All those decades of experience, the digital courses, the acupuncture, it's all working toward this one holistic goal. So, we've seen how structured and emotionally intelligent this field actually is, and I want to leave you with this thought. If an experienced doctor can openly, scientifically teach us how to build better intimacy, why in the world do we let societal taboos hold us back? True understanding only starts the moment we are brave enough to actually seek the answers. Keep asking questions, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.